What's up, y'all? Rich Slayton here from Clash Royale League with a special match from the CWA Cup 2. It's Benzer Ridel against Surg TS in a best-of-3 as part of the winner's bracket during our playoff week. For more, of course, from this tournament, go ahead and check the show notes below. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and, of course, use code RICH for all Supercell purchases, whether it's Clash Royale, Brawl Stars, Clash of Clans, Heyday, I think. I don't really know. Either way, support a creator. It's super duper cool. Let's waste no more time. Jump on into it. Benzer Ridel against Surg TS. Let's go. Benzer Ridel versus Surg TS. Benzer of Kick's team out of CRL East. Surg TS, formerly of Pain Gaming in CRL West. Should be a fun matchup between two top-tier talents. Benzer, one of the top players in the East, well known as a talented mortar player. Surg TS, the Brazilian, has done a lot of great stuff in tournaments just like this one, organized by Revel Amar. We'll see if he can continue that streak here today in the winner's bracket against Benzer Ridel. Of course, you can watch all of this tournament live on Twitch and Trovo. Links below in the description. And here we go. Graveyard in for Surg TS, looking like it could be a mirror match. We'll see if they're both going cage or if one's going bomb tower rather than cage. But the first big attempt at damage coming in by Surg TS. 2199 remains, and going to get a little bit more onto the Ice Whiz on the left-hand side as well. First minute of gameplay away, and check out what happened. Surg TS with a huge damage advantage on the left, Benzer with a good one on the right-hand side, and of course, a little bit of elixir advantage for the Brazilian as he sets up his Ice Whiz to the left one more time. Knight in response. We don't know yet if Surg TS is running cage. You feel like maybe he would have caged a little bit earlier if that were the case, but could still be doing it. And now just keeping aggressive as Surg TS, wanting to control this as much as humanly possible. Nice NATO from Benzer to pull everything back and out of Princess Tower range to prevent the tankage. But look at that. The Barbarian gets away, and that tornado really backfiring on the Indonesian. Huge, huge moment, and now 1564 remains. But a solid counter push coming in. Let's see how he controls the tornado. High Ice Whiz for Surg TS, and Poison to work on the Graveyard. Of course, that Graveyard rework of the rework, the undo of the rework, not quite in yet. We'll be getting that fairly soon, though. 21-24 left on the left-hand side as we go into the final minute of regulation time. 50 seconds left, and the Brazilian sets up again on the back, and now we see Benzer going back to his Goblin Cage. Still have not seen the last two cards for Surg TS, assuming that NATO is one of those, of course, and then either Bomb Tower, there comes the Tornado, either Bomb Tower or the Goblin Cage. Ice Whiz low, Knight not going to get in front enough, but so the Barbarian has to come out and deal with the Barbarian of Benzer Ridel. A little bit more damage done, but not enough to really change the tenor of this game. That's a good, really, really good Baby Dragon there. Going to put some pressure on the left-hand side, and now he can Graveyard one more time as the Ice Whiz comes out to the right. Poison going to defend, but not going to defend enough with the current version of Graveyard. You see those skeletons getting right there on the tower. Going to do some pretty good damage, and look at this on the right-hand side as well. Ice Whiz Knight adding to that side. Here we go, Knight with a Brawler. Brawler putting that Knight on roller skates in the left-hand lane. Baby Dragon down to defend along with the Ice Whiz. And will the King Tower activation come in? Boom! That's got to be a GG. Well played there. Benzer Ridel in a lot of trouble in this generally a mirror matchup. As again, we have not seen the 8th card of Surg TS yet, so can't definitively call it that. And look at this, a lot of damage in. Benzer has to know this one is basically over at this stage. Game number 1, Surg TS gets aggressive early, does not take his foot off the gas at all, and barring a huge mistake here, is going to take game number 1 of this best-of-3 between two top-tier head-to-head pros. Benzer Ridel says, good game. He knows it's over. Poison comes out. Benzer not going to bother with trying to play any more defense, and there he goes, taking a pretty solid win here in game number 1. GG, well played, Benzer. Here we go, game number 2. Surg TS with the advantage here in the first bracket stage of the CWA Cup 2, $1,600 on the line. And in that mirror matchup, Benzer was never really in it. It seemed like it was Surg TS the entire way through, and here we go. Benzer's known for mortar, goes mortar in game number 2, which going comfort game 2 feels really, really predictable. And this Inferno Dragon gets right on the mortar. Benzer's going to have to do something to control that. I'm sure he has something small and swarmy there. The Hunter comes out. Curious to see if Surg TS decided to try to go counter to mortar specifically in game 2 because of how often players, especially mortar players, go back to comfort when they're down 1. We'll see if that's the case here. 6-man split in the back, so looking like it's 6 Loon for Surg TS. We'll see if he's running the Elite Barbarians version. Benzer going, I think, either Mortar Graveyard or a weird Mortar Skelly Barrel version. It feels like it's more Mortar Graveyard. Loon in, Mortar nowhere to be seen. Hunter will take 1 shot, but the balloon should connect, and it does. So Benzer just a little slow on the uptake right now, and it is hurting him 2 games in a row. 1464 remains on the end, and Surg TS with a really strong advantage over Kix Team Star. As we go into the second half of regulation, 2104 to that, as I said before, 1464. Surg TS, really talented head-to-head player. That promise never really truly realized inside of the CRL arena, especially not during the 2019 to 2020 first spring split seasons. But still a very talented head-to-head player in his own right, and somebody who stays with it even through adversity. That's one of the things that I do like a lot about Surg TS overall is ups or downs, no matter what, the guy stays grinding and continues to have good performances when people think that he might be done. Here we go. Cannon cart set up behind the knight for Benzer on the left-hand side. Archers to the left. And there is the graveyard, E-Barbs. And this feels like, so typically 6 Loon has had the advantage over graveyard in single and then loses to it in triple. And then double is kind of depends on where the momentum shifts. But it feels like this deck has a good matchup over graveyard between the archers, the 6-man, and the E-Barbs. There's so many troops that can damage more than one thing at a time that can deal with those graveyard spawns. So far, I feel like I've mostly seen this deck from Surg TS win in graveyard matchups. I don't know if I've seen it against graveyard, against Mortar GY specifically. So that's, I guess, an extra wrinkle to think about. Mortar goes high, Fisherman comes in. Mortar's going to connect on tower. That's going to get at least 1 shot. There you go. Balloon not going to get to tower. And Surge in a bit of trouble here. Cannon cart might connect. No, the recruits do get down just in time. Poison to work on the recruits is the Heal Spirit in cycle for the Brazilian. I don't know if he used it earlier in that sequence. It was pretty clumped up there, or if it just was no longer available. But here we go. Elixir Advantage beginning to swing towards Benzer Ridel. Balloon to the right-hand side as Cannon Cart goes down. E-Barb's behind to predict that Mortar, and they go right to the Mortar here. And they should kill the Mortar in time for the Balloon to miss that Hunter, and they do. Heal Spirit behind, but the Barb Barrel takes care of the Heal Spirit. Doesn't matter, connection on the right-hand side. Huge connection, but now it's Benzer Ridel loading up on the left-hand lane. Knight coming down. 6-man comes up high. 4-2 split to the left-hand side, so that cannon can be taken care of. 584 on the right-hand lane. A lot of trouble right now for the Indonesian as we go into the final minute of gameplay. Triple Elixir about to flow, and this is where Graveyard could potentially steal it, but it does not feel quite beefy enough. How fast will the cycle of Benzer be? You see him setting up Mortar low right now to prepare a cycle. But that Mortar there, real suspect. How fast can he get back around here? Barb Barrel going for a Hunter. Snowball on the Hunter. That's going to connect. What an interesting and maybe mistaken Mortar cycle there at the bottom. Really curious as to whether that was a misclick of the card or if he just overestimated his ability to cycle. Maybe he had lost track of whether the balloon was in cycle or not. Doesn't feel like the play, though. And now we go to the final 30 seconds, and a big advantage for Surge TS in both lanes. 11-14 left-hand side, and look at that. Recruits on the right-hand side. Benzer calling good game, and that's going to be it, folks. 144 on the right-hand lane. 13 seconds left. There's absolutely no way that Benzer gets this back in time. GG, well played. Surge TS going to move on in the winner's bracket as the Heal Spirit finishes things off on the left-hand side. That's it for the match. A quick 2-0 sweep by Surg TS. Great play from the former Pain Gaming CRL Pro. For more like this, of course, subscribe to my channel, and also check the show notes below because the CWA Cup 2 is not done yet. We have playoffs, we have championships, we have $1,600 on the line, so that's going to be in the show notes. Check that one out, and of course, I'll see you back here on my channel, the best place for Clash Royale esports.